Well, it's time for picks and bans for game number 2 with SBE Sonic Boom versus KT Rollster. There's a Hecarim ban, so we will see if the Riven ban comes through. Do you think they are going to ban it? Do you think they identify Riven as the problem?
I don't think that was the problem. I think that Seoul just falling so far behind early and Someday being Someday was the problem. We've seen Someday just dominate on a variety of champions.
Makes sense. Alistar banned against KT as well. Fixer had a pretty awesome game on that Alistar. A lot of good combos.
Interesting that SBE doesn't want to first pick it right now. Maokai banned once again for KT.
I really wonder if this is setting SBE up for first pick Sivir.
Yeah, I think you've got to go for that. Or Gragas is going to be the question. Yeah. But honestly, I would just ban Gragas right now if I was SBE and try and take the Sivir away, because that has just been such a comfort pick for KT. And we've seen what they look like without it. When they don't have that big ability to engage with the Sivir ult, they just aren't as good.
Annie.
Take away Annie.
Okay.
So they did last game as well.
So does KT perhaps want to ban that Gragas?
No. I think they just want to let him have the Gragas and then take the Rek'Sai and the Sivir.
Now, Echo was banned against SBE last game. They're going to ban Kalista this time, so the Echo will be available.
Oh, I want to see Someday play Echo.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think KT is going to get the chance to get it. I would imagine SBE is either going to grab that Gragas that we talked about, or maybe the Sivir.
I think they will probably take the Gragas here. They did prioritize it when they got to them in the first round of the draft last time.
Yep, looks like they will.
And it's a very ambiguous pick. They could take away the Rek'Sai, but I don't really think that's going to help them that much. Now, Score, that's not true. Score did a lot of work with that Tremor Sense in the last game. We looked at this jungle pathing and the way that he was able to keep following catch around and keep Someday safe, as well as getting those deep wards in. Score actually did do a lot of work to enable that snowball in top lane.
Now, Score's kind of defaulted over to Evelynn when Rek'Sai hasn't been available for a lot of his games, and I feel like a champion like that would just be a nightmare for SBE with Rek'Sai Tremor Sense or not.
Well,
Gragas, okay.
It will be Gragas, and you're right. We've seen those Evelynn bans against KT also, and Score is just a player who he likes to play smart, and the less visible he could be on the map, he is sort of the invisible jungler. Not only when he plays Evelynn, but he's just not very confrontational on champions like Rek'Sai, and we saw that really come out in the last game. He just likes to slip in, get the wards down, and keep eyes on you, and then relay that information to his team. He's kind of like the secret agent of junglers here in Korea.
Makes sense.
He waits till you're alone and vulnerable, and then he strikes.
That's right. He has his pen filled with cyanide or something like that. He just like pokes you with it. He's like, oh, excuse me. Sorry, oh, is this your floor? I'll be getting off.
Oh God, your British accent is terrible.
I didn't try it. That was not my full effort there. I'll work on it.
All right, Sivir Rek'Sai, no surprise from KT that these would be the selections. They get the same champions they had last game, and one would expect a very similar performance.
Yeah. Now, is SBE brave enough to try the Echo? I wonder.
Well, they've been brave enough to try it before, but they already have a jungler, so that means they'd have to play it in one of their solo lanes, which is something we haven't seen from them yet.
Yeah, they did use it in the jungle yesterday, and it did not work out too well.
It certainly did not. Yeah. But very little that SBE has done has worked out too well.
That's true, too. Yeah. All right, well, they can take the victor, I suppose. Edge did quite well on that.
So Nautilus and Victor will be the selections. Very meta composition coming in so far from SBE. Not too much interesting from either of our teams yet. Will Edge go for the Cassiopeia pick? I love the Sivir Cassiopeia combo. Really does give you great chasing potential.
Yeah.
The ability to hunt down your opponents with a lot of that single target damage, and gives you even
yes.
more speed than you generally see.
Every time I see Blitzcrank, I get excited for a second, then I remember what happened to his W, and then I get sad.
Rip Blitzcrank.
Rip Blitz. Still be cool to see Fixer give him a try. In a situation like this, why not?
I mean,
you've got Sivir to compensate
Exactly.
for the fact that your W is not, yeah, that's true.
Exactly. But I think the Thresh is definitely the safer choice here. And they will lock in the Azir as well. So Edge just playing some more poke-based champions today with the Victor, and then the Azir, playing it nice and safe. Has that ability to siege nicely as well with the Sivir. Good all-in capacity. I mean, pretty just standard meta compositions from both sides today. And notice that they saved Someday's pick for last. It is a good day to be a Someday.
I would agree. Well, Caitlyn would be an interesting choice because her changes are not in yet.
That is
we are
very
not
true.
to that patch at this point.
Yeah, I think you just go with the Lucian and see if you can win lane right here. Try and punish Arrow as much as you can. We've seen Nuclear play that Tristana before, and it is a nice champion for fast pushing. And especially with Victor and Gragas, you have a lot of ways to poke people and get them off of turrets. Good zone control if you want to fast push with a Tristana might be pretty decent.
Ooh, would they actually try taking away the Riven here?
That would be bold. I mean, Sol has played Kennen, Sol has played Aurelia, so it's not like we haven't seen carry top lanes out of him, but is... No, Fizz.
Oh no, it's Fizz. Fizz top lane has not been spectacular in Champions lately.
It hasn't. It really has not worked in this league very well. We haven't seen really that dominating performance out of the Fizz top lane. We have in mid lane, but the Cinder Hulk Fizz just, he has such little wave clear early on. Now, fortunately, that's going to be balanced out by the fact that Tristana and Victor are very capable of pushing turrets, so perhaps Sol can really make it work in that top side, but is Someday going to play this Riven for the second game in a row? Bit of an assassin dually matchup at the top side. It would certainly be exciting.
Yeah. And we saw Shy try Fizz top on Wednesday. That was pretty bad.
Well, the composition was bad. I think that Fizz works, but it's just very situational, and you have to consider the compositions. Fizz and Gragas is good. You could break apart fights and get Fizz in those 1v1s where you can get extended autos off, but it will be, looks like, an Aurelia instead here against the Fizz in the top lane.
Interesting. And I mean, the thing is if you come in, you poke Aurelia with Fizz, you have to really be careful, because if you get stunned, you can't play full Trickster out of being stunned, so you're going to take some pretty decent trade damage from the Aurelia side.
That's right.
Good pick.
You come in and you get the damage over time, which basically guarantees you're going to have higher health. And unless, like during your Urchin Strike, if you just get stunned right on the opposite side of that, then you're going to eat a lot of He-10 style true damage. So It is interesting. We'll see how it actually plays out in the top side or not. Should be pretty fun matchup to watch, skill-based matchup for sure.
Yeah. Someday on that Aurelia should be right up his alley as far as some of those carry top laners can be. As far as this composition goes, though, you know, how does this Aurelia kind of fit in with the rest of what KT's got, just sort of as a split pushing threat?
Split pushing threat, absolutely, and they're going to have a very big power spike. But I mean, if we just look at the way they could deal with the backline here of getting onto Victor with the Azir and the Aurelia, it's just a lot of skirmishing potential from KT's composition. Good 4-1, and Spenu, I don't really know how they're going to deal with this. Yes, they've got good reset potential for Tristana, but mostly I think they're going to have to hope for a fast push, get some of these outer turrets down very quickly, and hope that Sol gets big, but that is a long shot in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Spenu trying to tie things up. KT looking for the 2-0. Let's get in the game and see who takes it. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. KT Rolster taking on Spenu's Sonic Boom. And Sol, after an incredibly trying game number 1, is going to go ahead and take this Fizz to the top lane now. And KT, the cheese is strong with this one.
Yeah, they're going to wrap around into the try. And this is so dangerous. This is the Thresh Brush.
Oh, boy.
We've talked about this at Champions before.
Here comes. Oh, the hook misses, though. Secret going to the top of the brush.
Yeah, you have to be good heads-up play there by Secret to try and avoid that situation, because you have to be so careful against Thresh in that brush. They were ready for it, didn't actually get hit by it, and that means that Spinu will be able to back off in safety.
Oh, there's a pause, but KT was able to get a lot of deep wards done. So is this something you'd want to split push against, perhaps? I feel like standard lanes works fine for KT.
Yeah, but for Spinu, maybe you do want to just farm up that Tristana and then control the wave, not level put any points in E and just sit there on all your skill points like we usually see Tristana players do.
Yeah.
Until you want to control it and start pushing out right now. You do have the smite on Fizz as opposed to Aurelia. So there is some nice jungling that could possibly be done in a lane swap situation for Soul. So I don't know. Kind of go either way on this one.
Yeah. Global fans. Nice. I like the hat with the dollar signs on it. That's pretty cool. Do you think I would look good in a hat like that, Monty?
Yes, every time.
I think so, too. That's right. I need to find out where he got that.
Also, I want you to go Flava Flav and get a big clock around your neck.
I could do that. Although, like, saying Doa Do doesn't, like, it doesn't sound quite as cool as Flava Flav, does it?
Doa Do.
Yeah, that does not work. I'll think of something better. I need a different rap name. That's really the key to it. That's right. Oh, we're back in the game. I'll have to think of my rap name some other time.
I mean, Dead on Arrival is already kind of a rap name.
It is. It's true, yeah.
Has some gangster flavor to it.
The Indomitable DOA. Put that in there.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Good work. Continuously mistaken for the game franchise, as it has been for 10 years or more now.
Beach volleyball was my favorite version of you.
When is the sequel coming out, man? When is the sequel coming? Come on, we just, E3, where's the big announcement? Come on.
You know, you really missed when we were on the beach in Busan last year, the chance to get the DOA beach volleyball picture that we were all,
true.
oh, he got, oh.
He
no,
nearly
he
got it. Nearly got it.
Cute.
It was close.
Cute moves from Fixer, who's back on Thresh, that champion that he really looked great on towards the end of last season and ended up getting a lot of bans. So always fun to see Fixer on Thresh.
Started with Q, which is not something we see all the time on Threshes. Usually it's been the Flay for a long time now, but trying to make use of the Q. I like it, you know? Trying to make something happen.
Yeah, it's smart adaptation. If you're going to be stuck with that Q early on, you might as well just go and try and make something out of it. And absolutely, SBE do not expect that to happen.
Yeah, so I like the spot lane for SBE. Got some good protection for Tristana, and of course they've got a champion that will be very strong late. Just in general, it seems like SBE will be fairly strong late.
Yeah, I mean, they still kind of lack some tankiness. We'll see how this Fizz builds. Sasson going to chase Edge over the side alongside Catch, who comes in for an early 3-minute gank, but it's not going to work. Score getting very low at that red buff. Will get some more HP with the help of his smite before going down. And, you know, the problem, I think, with running Tristana into Sivir is that the explosive shot is really telegraphed as an ability. So it's pretty easy to spell shield that. You see it coming in, and it's kind of obvious. So I'm not sure that this is really going to be a very good matchup for Tristana. I'm not familiar with the reworked Tristana's matchups quite yet. That would be my hunch, is that it would be hard to get down damage, because where Tristana really thrives is in these extended trades where she could stack up that explosive shot.
Of course, yeah.
And when Arrow is able just to spell shield that and then walk up and boomerang blade her, I just don't see that working out very well for the Trist.
Now, if Secret can get that spell shield used on a dredge line, then that does open up some trades. So I think a lot of this depends on the coordination between Secret and Nuclear, and you know, if Secret can set something like that up. Because I think you're absolutely right. The trading from Tristana is pretty paramount, but it depends on Secret, you know?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Well, Sumday's already up in this top side, and Fizz, of course, has that pretty weak early game, and Soul actually going for a Doran's Blade, so pretty aggressive opener here against Someday.
They're falling a bit behind in CS already, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Fizz just, he's a very item-dependent champion. He can't do much without items. Usually we'd see the Cinderhulk Fizz starting with a Flask, actually, in the top side, and not making that decision this time around. Catch going to go ahead and get the Wolf Spirit out of Score's jungle, and he's not going to quite finish that. He knows he's there. They could collapse on him right now. Azir has an angle. They definitely could go for this, but Catch is going to body slam away before Edge wants to leave lane.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they were too worried about stopping him. Just wanting to push that mid lane turret up, probably so Sawson can go back and buy, perhaps. Oh, Score comes in. There's a knockup on the Catch. Catch taking a lot of damage, forced to flash. Can they finish him off? Oh, man, it was close. But they couldn't quite get him. They did get the flash, though.
And Sawson ghosted as well, so just a really awkward path there from Catch. Actually forces 2 summoners out of Spenu. Nice aggression from KT, but that was Catch just taking a little bit of a risk right there in terms of what he was trying to do. And Someday still going to be going ahead and winning these trades, just using that E. Look how much damage is coming out the W. He's maxing E first.
Oh, boy. Playful Trickster, though, bringing it right back for Soul. Hilarious. I know. You know, sometimes when you're watching a top lane 1v1, you just have to laugh so you don't cry. You know, usually that's more of a tank.
Yeah, this one's
better.
This is actually entertaining. I don't know what you're talking about, Doa.
I'm talking about the tank 1v1s. I just said that. Oh, Catch discovers a wild score.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. In the top lane, Someday with the first blood. 1v1, man.
Score's risky pathing right there, though, around the back did force him to have to flash into the Dragon Pit, but Someday, so Soul hit level 6 first right there and tried to kind of style a little bit for that kill, but Someday got his Transcendent Blades and was able to turn it around. Let's take a look at what happened.
Again,
so. Look at that 6 right there. Immediate all in from Someday. Soul gonna try and get that up, but flashback Q and then 1 auto. Well played by Someday. Kind of baiting Soul in. Soul not respecting the fact that Someday was about to hit level 6. Well played by Someday, though.
Yeah, no kidding. Now the Skirmisher Saber is picked up by Soul now. I'm trying to remember if he had that before the fight.
No.
Okay.
They didn't have any items before the fight at all, just the Doran's Blade and some potions. So that was the first recall, the first back. But Someday got to put together a sheen for himself. That burst damage going to be absolutely huge here.
Well, that's what you need. Again, you know, I feel like it's all about getting that stun with Equilibrium Strike and then front-loading the damage.
Yeah, Soul did go and get the Gromp buff, though. So that's going to make trading a little bit more difficult for Someday.
Certainly does help. You know, Edge with a bit of a CS lead. CS leads across the board, actually, for KT.
So they're going to see maybe if he'll use his Playful Trickster, but they should know he's here thanks to the Wolf Spirit. No, they're just going to go in, actually.
Yep, Soul getting stunned already. There we go, right into the knockup. Soul not taking a lot of damage yet. Score getting very low. Oh, man, Score! Well, gave one over to Soul there.
What an awkward tower dive from KT Rollster.
No
I mean,
kidding.
They initiated that, and Someday was tanking the turret, but Soul was easily able to turn that around because there was just no damage coming in. They just sat there for a moment.
Yeah, the coordination was definitely not there. Catch trying to steal the blue buff, but gets chased away by Fixer. Still trying, though. Here comes Sawson as well. KT might have a little bit of trouble with this one. Oh, but Edge trying to help. Looks like he's going to try to come over. Oh, got smited. Who did that go to? I think it went to Catch, actually. They're going to grab Secret. Actually, that's a lot of damage flayed in. Here comes Edge. Does KT want to try to pursue this?
They can TP
They can also do Dragon after pushing away. They're just going to activate the ult. They know that they can get a kill. They can kill off Secret. Yep, and they're going to push Spenu away, which could lead to an early Dragon as well.
Yeah, nice flash play from Fixer after the On the Hunt went down just to secure that kill. And they kind of mind gamed a little bit. Secret, I think the rest of Spenu thought they may be able to get out of that situation, but instead, we do see this.
Challenging smite used on Someday right before he popped his ult. That probably saved Soul right there. Oh, Catch. Catch getting caught in his own jungle this time, though. There's the flay from Fixer to keep him in place. He's going to body slam over the wall. Score going to chase. He's got to have that burrow up pretty soon. Using that Tremor Sense. Misses the Prey Seeker. Gets slowed by the barrel.
Here comes Arrow.
Yeah, Nuclear right there as well, too. They're going to go over the wall. Oh, they grabbed him. Coming in. They're going to bring in Arrow as well with the Lantern. There's a kill on to Catch. Arrow picking that one up there.
Great play from Fixer.
Yeah, very good.
Gets the Lantern into the Tri-Brush. Now, they thought that KT was going to be doing that Dragon, but they weren't. Someday in a 1v1, another kill in the 1v1 for Someday.
That healing from the ultimate is certainly making the difference.
Yeah, he didn't have it up during that fight. That's why Soul thought he could go in, was he had Fish.
Oh, you're right.
And Someday had used the Transcendent Blades in an earlier little scrap. But at the same time, Soul, his only item was a Doran's Blade and a Skirmisher Saber. He didn't have that Cinder Hulk done. So when you don't have, you invest so much.
Oh, Saucin coming up, looking for a very low health someday. Will he pick the right brush? He's got 3 to choose from. There's a ward. Checks the other one. Oh, he hits him right as he recalls, but he manages to make it out.
Oh.
That was like that game you see on the street where it's like find the acorn under the 3 cups, but it was like find the Aurelian the 3 brushes. And he picked the wrong one. He picked the right one last.
The 3-brush Monty.
That's right. That works. That works.
Oh, man. Well, Someday does escape.
Yeah.
At the end right there. Saucin also blew his ult to get that. So Edge going to look for the kill right now. Saucin, no mana, no ultimate, has to flash.
Yeah, flash from Saucin. He's going to lay down that gravity field. It does catch score for now, but catch is going to take a lot of damage as well here. They don't need to really stop pressuring. Someday's nearby. He's going to come down for the moment, but looks like they're going to let that go for now. Still no dragon for either team either.
No, if you're KT right now, you really want to get some more deep wards in now that you know the mid is backing, as well as trying to get some damage down onto this turret in the mid lane if you can. I'm surprised the score is just going to recall right here instead of using that timing just a little bit better. But he's got Void Rush. He'll be back on the map in just a moment. And that is a nice freeze that Someday has going on right now. He's got the Phage as well. So back to that duel. Soul didn't have Smite in the top lane. It was down. It was on cooldown. And his only item besides a Doran's Blade was the Skirmisher's Saber. So under those circumstances, you really can't duel because you've invested to make your Smite do something. Yeah. And that's the only thing that you have in terms of combat. Whereas this Aurelia has a Sheen. So even if you have that ult, it's really scary.
Well, Soul played it really, or Someday rather, played it really well too. He went in, forced a trade early on that got that Smite used, then after it was done, came in again.
Yeah. Well, Someday very comfortable on this Aurelia, as we can see, in spite of that kill on the horrible turret dive.
Well, another duel up in top lane. Someday taking the ult from Fizz. Looks like it's not going to do a whole lot, though.
Yeah, still has Transcendent Blades as well. He'll be able to heal up off the next minion wave if he so chooses. Or he can take a little trip back home.
Yep, this turret shouldn't take any damage.
Scores soloing Dragon right now.
Why not? Fixer and Arrow can come up and help. And Edge there as well, too. So finally that first Dragon taken.
So Someday's recall was just to cover his teammates. He had gotten low after that skirmish. He still had his ultimate. He knew Fizz's ult was down, and he had the wave pushed up because all he did was go back and buy a dragon. The reason why he did that was because if in a TP situation, if they came to intercept the dragon, he would be able to TP in with an ult and full HP and therefore almost certainly win that team fight. So that's just really good coordination around KT to make sure that that dragon was done very safely.
Yeah, it worked out well. So despite that kind of minor misstep with the gank in top lane, the turret dive, everything else moving pretty smoothly for KT again here in game 2. Already up to a 2K gold lead, 3-4. They've got the dragon. Turrets are going to start falling within the near future, you'd have to imagine. Yeah,
Someday again doing very well on the top side in spite of things being a little bit more even. Score going to get found right there.
Yeah, catch. I wonder if he knew he was there. Gets knocked up on, though. Edge coming over the wall. They have the support there as well, too. Pushes Saucin back in. Box dropped by Fixer. There goes Saucin, a kill for Edge. Really nice play using the Emperor's Divide to push Saucin back into Fixer's box.
Man, Saucin just didn't expect that either. Not a lot of mana. Someday going to take a turret hit right now. Soul trying to go in.
Yeah, Someday, does he have quite enough? Oh, can't quite dodge the playful Trickster. That top lane has been such a duel fest. It's gone both ways. We've got like 2 solo kills for each of them at this point.
Yeah, Someday right there took a tower hit, and Soul was able to turn that into a kill now that he has that Cinder Hulk. So
not bad.
Nice little reversal. Someday still a little bit short of that finish onto the Trinity Force, but in the meantime, Arrow's going to get a lot of damage onto the bottom tower.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the CS for Someday as well, too, he's 20 up.
Oh, he's
still
fine.
Looking fine, yeah. Still winning the lane. 1 death as opposed to the 2 for Soul. So looking pretty good.
There we go. Tower finished. First one of the game just before 15 minutes here as KT racks up some global gold. And they're just going to back off. So no real conversion right here. Saucin clean out that minion wave as Edge goes to pick up the blue buff. Trinity Force now done for Someday. Did wait just a little bit, and Soul will be going for the Cinder Hulk into Trinity Force build, so he's going to be doing damage, but he's well behind at the moment.
Seems like a pretty strong power spike for KT right now with the Infinity Edge done, the Morello Namicon now on Edge. Basically, everybody getting their first core item, and here comes Secret up to the top lane.
Yeah, they really want to shut down this Aurelia, but everyone from KT making their way up into top as well, right as Someday gets there. And the thing is, Spenu doesn't have any deep wards besides this one in the Tri-Brush, so they're not going to be so confident in their abilities. Score going to come in. Oh, he's going to get seen by a pink ward, but Someday's already in.
There we go. They knock Someday back with the explosive cast, getting very, very low. Fixer coming in to try to save his top laner. He does. Flash knockup from Score. That's a kill from Edge. And KT turning that one around very nicely.
Yeah, they did. Still dangerous. KT showing a bit of a lack of coordination right there just because they didn't know whether there was a ward in the brush in the river, and Someday had already gone in. They're going to keep on piling through there. They're in the jungle. Fixer here.
Yeah, Sasson taking a little bit of damage. Soul right there. They have to pull out Edge, though. Got a bit low.
Yeah, but they got the ult. And Arrow is sitting in a brush right now. Big play. Here's a teleport.
Yep, that's right. Wow, Edge already very low health. Catcho, he tries a body slam over the wall. Can't get through with it. Someday over the wall himself after Soul. Here comes Edge. Here comes Score now. Knockups into the box. Sasson goes down. Edge very low, but staying on the edge of the fight, and he should just be perfectly fine. They'll be able to grab this blue buff on the way out, too.
Edge is playing around his low HP so well this game. He's actually surprising the enemy. Surprised Sasson in the mid lane with that all in. And looks like Spenu really wants to take the blue buff, but they're not going to be able to get through the meat wall in front of it, and Edge will take it away.
A good knockup onto Soul as he came in to try to smite that, not giving him the opportunity. So now the game blown wide open, 6,000 gold ahead for KT. They've gotten 2 turrets, only need to work on that top one, and Someday may have it down very, very soon. So it's like we said, a few minutes ago, the power spike has happened. KT is going to start taking turrets. They're going to start winning fights. Is there anything Spenu can do right now?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I mean, Arrow has done such a good job this game of just taking towers. He took mid, while the rest of his team has been controlling Spenu and forcing these very favorable fights. Arrow's just been wave clearing with his boomerang, standing in the lane, autoing the turrets, and that's led to this 2-tower lead right now.
Oh, Soul. Uh-oh. In trouble. And uses his ult. Goes on to Someday. Someday taking some turret hits, getting very low. Soul, wow. Someday nearly getting taken out. Soul doing everything he can, but just a bit too late at this point. Meanwhile, Arrow jumped on by Catch and Secret in the bottom. There's the ultimate. Nuclear there as well to help out, so they will be able to get the pick onto Arrow in bot lane.
But how much else are they going to be able to get right here? They do have a minion wave relatively close, and remember, Nuclear's on this Tristana. That Tristana does a lot of damage to turrets. Look at the chunk that's going to be taken out right there.
They're going to get it.
Huge amounts of damage. You cannot leave Tristana in lane alone with your tower right now. They get the tower on the top side in recompense, so it's still a 2-tower lead for KT, and now they're going to set up around the dragon.
Yeah, and the most important thing, not just being 2 towers ahead, but having all of that map control that comes with having the outer line of turrets out of the way.
So Someday has QSS as his second item, so giving him that MR and the ability to drop the fish. And that's really the key thing right here, is he thinks he's going to be scrapping more and more with Soul, because that's the only reason you would get a QSS.
Yeah, it kind of makes it look like he wants to keep split pushing, right?
Yep, and he's destined and determined to win these duels. There's TP. Some days is down, but he is on the flank already.
Well, Dragon's still going to KT. Catch came in to try to help him. Wow, nice grab from Fixer. Sick death sentence, and there goes the jungler. They were so ready for Catch to come in. Sivir ultimate activated. Can KT catch up? Going to the Raptors is Someday. Can he catch anyone else? He's going to go for Spirit. Gets a slow with that Equilibrium strike. Spirit getting, Secret getting very low. Now he's dead. Sasson in a little bit of trouble. Edge doing a lot of damage. Someday push back against the wall. Sasson barely makes it up due to the Summoner heal from Nuclear. So it looks like that's all KT is going to be able to get kill-wise in this fight.
Really nice follow-up there from Someday. I think what was really cool about what we saw from the Aurelia was that I believe what happened is that he queued onto a small raptor, killed it with the Sheen proc to reset. I didn't even know you could do that with Aurelia. I didn't know those little raptors had such a small amount of HP. But that's a really cool trick for Aurelia players if you're chasing through the jungle. Just queue onto a small raptor with that Trinity Force. You'll be able to take it out immediately and then follow up on the chase. That was neat.
Worked well. And now, Someday is 3-1-3. Seoul is 2-3-1. The top lane is very much in KT's favor now. 7,000 gold lead already. And here is where it all starts to fall apart for SBE, or where it continues to fall apart for SBE.
Look how many wards KT got into the bottom side of the jungle while they were running through on that chase. Just absolutely 100% vision. But they're not doing a very good job of defending their turrets right now. Nuclear and the rest of SBE find another one, and you just need a couple of seconds with that Tristana. Arrow trying to push into the bottom side, but he doesn't have very much mana to sustain this. So KT not putting up the best defense possible.
Yeah, I sense a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of laziness from KT right now.
Especially with the Dragon dead, there's no reason to commit a lot of resources to the bottom side when you could be saving your turrets instead.
Yeah. Arrow just really wanting to push down this bottom lane turret. Fixer's there to support him if Sasson is there, and he is. Sometimes I feel like teams try to close and push turrets too aggressively, you know, and then they end up making the game take even longer, even though the purpose is to make it take less time.
Well, KT usually can close out, though. I mean, they're a team that isn't afraid to dive. They will just keep on hammering at the gates until they break through. Now, you know, cautious they want to be this time around. They could set up for a big dive right here. There's really no ramifications. As long as they have pressure advantage, you can just keep diving, and no one's really going to be able to punish you for it while the death timers are still so low.
Works out. Score is like, yeah, I believe I will take your Raptor camp. Oh, yep, he still got it. Thought maybe Seoul could smite it away, but Score was able to grab it.
Now, Someday not so far ahead of Seoul this game as he was last time. Still pretty far up in terms of CS, but that level advantage that he had, the 3-level advantage, was really the more overwhelming part of it. And now that is not going to be a feat that is repeated. Fixer gets caught.
Nice ultimate from Catch. Looks like they're going to get a kill on a Thresh here. Score comes in as well. Here comes Arrow with a lot of damage. Oh, man. Catch just getting evaporated. Edge coming in with Someday as well. Goodbye, Nuclear. Double kill for Someday already. Another one for Edge comes in as well. Sasson and Seoul doing whatever they can. Edge gets hit with the Fizz ultimate. Seoul manages to pick one up, but Arrow's going to finish him off. Someday actually gets that one instead. So KT still trading 2 for 4. Yeah. Not the cleanest fight ever, but it worked out.
But Someday with a big cleanup right there, actually taking 3 kills over the course of that fight. You can see this is Aurelia's power spike right now. She's not going to get really stronger than she is at the moment. There you go. Sasson gets dove, and Someday gets another one underneath the tower.
Well, when you say that KT is not afraid to dive in the late game to finish off the game quicker, you meant it.
Yeah, they're a team that really likes to snowball gold leads off of kills. And they are very good at playing Sivir to catch you off guard and to go full tilt into the enemy composition.
Makes sense. 10,000 gold lead now. Let's watch that fight again. It started out okay.
Fixer was just clearing a ward right there. Does get caught and blown up by Catch. But Arrow here following up immediately. And Someday on the flank. Look at this. Gets a kill. Then he's going to use his Transcendent Blades.
Wow.
The last one finishes off. Secret gets taken out by Edge right there. And Seoul sees an opportunity. He sees Edge with the fish on him. Landed that. So he's going to go ahead and take out his ear. But Someday just there constantly auto-attacking him and then finishes him off with the Q.
Yep, so SBE scrambling to do anything they can, but they're down 4 turrets to 2 now.
And look at Someday, just building so much MR at this point. He's decided that Nuclear really isn't a threat to him. He's going to get the CDR. He's going to get more MR so that he can keep split pushing against Seoul or 1v1 Sasson as well at any time he wants. Yeah, Seoul's getting some attack damage with that Sheen, but he's not quite finished with that Trinity Force yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a ways. I mean, he just went back and he only picked up a dagger, so he has got a ways to go before he finishes that Trinity Force.
Yeah, probably about 800 gold. Not sure exactly where he ended up on the spectrum right there, but certainly he's not in a situation where he's going to be comfortable dueling against a 7-1-4 Aurelia.
Yeah, I don't think so. Dragon up in about 10 seconds now. KT going back to group for that. Soul duking it out with Someday a little bit. Secret's right there. Pops at E for the slow. Catch comes in, mixing it up with Score. Yep, QSS use edge over the wall, right on the catch, bending the Soldier to get into it. Sasa getting chased down by Score. Meanwhile, Soul gets into the back lines, immediately regrets it. Oh, Death Sentence! How in the world did he hit Soul? Drops the box immediately. Double kill for Edge. Secret trapped in the back lines again. A triple kill now for Edge. And only Sasa and Nuclear remaining. This could be an inhibitor.
Yeah, they're just going to push on through right now. They have a Trinity Force. They have a Sivir who's just going to auto-reset on the turret. And that's going to be it.
That was easy.
Inhibitor will die, even though these death timers are still quite short.
And they can take Dragon number 3 on the way out, too.
They definitely can. Just head right over to the objective, pick it up, and keep on rolling here. Take the red buff for Arrow, just give him a little bit of a refresh.
Why not? Zach gets a little bit of health back. Now it's Dragon time. Getting that movement speed from that third Dragon.
This is a good call from Spenu.
Yeah, trying to sneak a Baron while KT is occupied.
This is about all they can do. So the fact that there are no wards right now, everyone's just recalling. This is going to be a Baron for Spenu.
Yeah, they're actually taking it quite fast, and KT can be a bit annoyed by this.
Well, Someday's going to check it.
He's going to find it, but it's going to be a little bit too late, I think.
Is it?
Or is it? Well, yeah, there goes Baron. And Someday does have to kind of let that one go. So that was good call by Spenu.
That was a great call from Spenu. KT, sloppy with their warding, didn't have vision on that objective, and so they lose it. But Spenu, the instant reaction after losing that inhibitor and thinking that they were going to, that KT would just go to Dragon this early on. No one thinks that Spenu would actually go for a Baron at 26 minutes with the kind of deficit that they already have, and that buys them at the very least a little time. Yeah, well, it's going to be easier to at least push back that super minion wave and bot with your Baron-powered minions anyway. Yeah, I'm very impressed. That was, yes, it was KT's mistake for allowing that to happen. They absolutely did not have to all simultaneously recall right there. They could have sent somebody over to pop down a trinket ward or what have you. So a bit sloppy play from KT, but, I mean, Spenu took the gamble, and it paid off. Worked out. That's what you got to do. That's the kind of life that we've been looking to see from Spenu all season long. Yeah, definitely. I think that was a great shot call. Yep. About time. Now, can they make more than one a series? That's the real trick right there. Well, don't ask for too much, though. I'm going to get my expectations. Soul taking a bit of damage, gets back to the safety of the turret. KT trying to put as much pressure as they can on this top lane, even with that Baron for Spenu. Meanwhile, the bottom lane pushing up. Arrow takes the mid lane tier 2. Wow, really? Arrow is basically just like a banner of command this game. Pretty much. All right, so here we go. They had to send Nuclear back to clear out these super minions. That means that this Spenu team is actually highly diveable right now, even though it's taking a long time to chew through these Baron minions. A lot of poke coming in from that Azir, too. They need to be careful about it. Tier 2 getting extremely low, but the minion wave goes down, so it looks like they'll have to wait for the next one. The super minions still pushing up in that bottom lane. Yeah, they could just wait this out right here. Yeah. KT, keep this siege on even with the Baron buff. They have such a massive gold lead. Well, I mean, it's really looking like this Baron buff's not really going to benefit Spenu really at all. Oh, here we go. Silver ult activated. They're going to go in on this one as the tower goes down. Knock up on the catch. And Secret throws the ult on a Fixer for some reason. Might be a misclick there. Arrow with the first kill. Emperor's Divide used to just sort of separate the members of Spenu. 2 easy kills for KT, and they are ready to push through for another inhibitor potentially in top lane. Yeah, they have to wait for this minion wave, though. That may give them enough time to home guard right here. They're going to try and hide a little bit. They've already swept out that area. Might work. So they're going to see if they get a lucky hook. No one's going to walk up, so they come with the wave to deal with the turret. Good damage from the Death Ray, but it's just not going to be enough. Yep. Able to take out that turret. Now going in again. Someday takes some damage. Nuclear trying to do it again. Nice knock up from Score. Nuclear really taking out. Whoa! Someday manages to catch him with the Blade Surge. Backing off. And they're going to grab the inhibitor on the way out, it looks like.
Sawson's got a chance for a kill or two here. Someday going back in, he's crazy. Whoa, yep, Sawson got that one. There we go, though. One last auto, and it looks like Arrow will be able to take the inhibitor, so mission accomplished, quote-unquote.
Well,
they got the inhibitor, but they lost Someday.
He was very low, and Fixer did come back for the Lantern for Arrow just so they could get out of that situation and take the inhibitor. Well, you know, Someday was very close to getting the kill on a catch right there and trading 1-for-1, but
why not?
Ultimately on that press, it did. I mean, we're only 30 minutes into this game. Someday is going to be back in 18 seconds. And honestly, securing the inhibitor is definitely worth losing a player for at this point in time, as you're trying just to put as much pressure on as you can to close the game. So not that much of a ramification. Baron's already down, Dragon's down, so I think that's a good trade.
Should be fine. Speaking of Dragon, it will be live again in about a minute 30. KT with a chance to claim their fourth there. Someday, meanwhile, just doing a bit of counter jungling. And I believe the inhibitor, yep, the inhibitor and bot is back now. So we'll see what KT decides to prioritize here over the next few minutes.
Well, they have Dragon number 4 in their sights, for sure. Whether they want to wait for that objective or try pushing a lane first is going to be the real question here. So there's a big slow push developing in the top side, so that should be done and at the base by about the time they finish the Dragon and set up again.
Yep.
A lot of options for KT in terms of their side wave pressure and the timings. Looks like they just want to go for the inhibitor, and they're going to pink ward their flanks right now. Now Fizz is coming in from behind.
He's going to try. Catch doesn't hit the body slam. Someday backing out for just a moment. They pop the Sephiroth for a bit more mobility. There's a zoning box to keep Soul from coming in too easily. Gets onto Arrow anyway. Use that playful tricks a bit. Look at this. Edge already with the double kill. Someday picks one up as well. There goes Sawson. Soul the only one left alive, and he has to run away. Wasn't able to get anything done. There goes the inhibitor. And that may very well be the game right there. We'll see if they're willing to tank the turret. I suppose they do have minions up in top lane here. Nope, just going to tank it. They're going to take out those turrets so fast.
Yeah, they are. And they also just have so much HP right now. It's not really an issue. But, man, the team fighting was so good from KT. Fixer had the vision. Fixer zoned out Soul instantly. And as soon as the fish came in, as we see Soul die here in the end of things, as soon as the fish came in, we saw Edge go into the fight, open up room with an Emperor's Divide. That was really good Azir team fighting from Edge right there, actually.
Edge had a great game, man. 9, 3, and 10 on Azir. You look at some days 9, 2, and 12. You know, Edge not doing too bad compared to the other members of his team for a guy we haven't seen for a very long time. He's looking good.
And Fixer's Thresh continues to be a threat. I think that was a great game from Fixer as well.
Yeah.
So tough loss for SBE, but they held up better certainly than they did in that first game, but they continue to kind of go through this season, trudge through with just a single win.
And not trying to take the Sivir away from KT. We talked about it going into today. Sivir is such a strong pick for this team right now, and we saw Arrow just be able to support so well with that champion, but SBE not wanting to touch it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's still a big weakness for KT.